What is up, everybody? I gotta come up with an intro for this, man. I ain't liking that at all. What's up, Rev?
What's good, brother Tony?
Not that intro. Not that
Not
intro.
that intro, bro.
No.
Super exciting.
I thought about going with the Lightning McQueen, like, ciao, but I was like, no, that's not do. I had a mixed bag of emotions, and I'm up in the great state of Michigan, so my brain's a little blurry. So,
sure.
Doobie reference. Shout out, Doobie. Hope you're having a good night, bud.
Right. Yes, Doobie, we both know why that's funny.
yes, absolutely. So, greetings from a random hotel room in Saginaw, Michigan. I met a girl in Saginaw, Michigan.
You ever go to any of the dairies up there, bro? Saginaw, Michigan is like really renowned for having specialty cheeses and dairies up there.
Yeah. Williams Cheese is the big one around here. Yeah, because it is like they have billboards like award winning. But see, I take offense to this because where I'm at, we have all kinds of cheese houses where I'm at, and Swiss is a big cheese where I'm at. But I'll put our cheddars, and we do like a bunch of flavored cheese, like pepperoni cheese, bacon cheese, like smoked pepper jack Munster cheese, or some crazy shit, like whatever you can think of. There's cheese. But I think it's I think, like, speaking of, I know we're supposed to talk about Russia, but here we are already on cheese.
We'll get there.
It's your fault. You're the one that brought up the dairies. Just saying. No.
You know, this could be a whole series, bro. If you want to talk about cheesemongering,
I think that's going to be the best part of it. Is we have no idea. Like Green Bay, like Wisconsin's known for its cheddar. Like Ohio, in our area, it's a little Switzerland of Ohio, so it's known for its Swiss. But then, like, so what would you say Michigan's cheese is? Is it cheddar as well? Because like they were talking about like cheddar is.
So the interesting thing about like cheddar cheese is something that's uniquely American. You know, the cheddaring process actually only adds color to the cheese.
What is it? Artificial color? Are they adding dye?
There's a bunch of. It depends on the dairy and the technique and the process. Because sometimes it's part of the pasteurization process. Because the USDA says for us to be able to sell cheese in America, it has to have a certain level of pasteurization. Okay. So during that pasteurization process, you can actually turn your cheese orange, and you can add food dyes. You can do all kinds of stuff. But like when you get cheddar cheese, when you make it, it comes out white. Like you can't tell the difference. The cheddaring process is basically what makes regular cheese cheddar cheese.
Yeah. Fun fact. Shelly, not nice, but your baby's absolutely. Look how cute that baby is, Rav. How cute's that baby? I think I might be the godfather of that kid. I'm not sure yet.
Oh,
am I the godfather of that kid? I mean, obviously we go back. But yeah, I know like it's all about the fat content of the cow too determines the cheese. Like your creamier cheese, you need to have a higher fat content cow, like a Jersey cow. Sure. Like regular Holstein cows, they use to make like your regular cheddars, you can use it for your Swiss. Like that's like around where I grew up at, the Holstein cows are a big thing, and they produce local Swiss. And they like, the local milk cheese houses have a boatload of like just all kinds of different cheeses and stuff. Absolutely. But they use like the local farmers' milk. It's a beautiful thing. Except the farmers will get paid dick for the milk.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That's it. Like I saw your video on the Kerrygold butter,
dude.
Big difference, huh? Big difference.
It's
like apples.
I was afraid. I was hoping I was wrong because I was like, this butter is so much better than the other. But because I was like eating it, I took a bite of the first one, and like the flavor of the butter just kept going. Mm-hmm. Like it just kept like breaking down, and it was so delicious. And then I tried the other one, and like it was like 5 seconds, and it just stopped. Like it was the end. I'm like,
there's two reasons for that. One, it's that pasteurization process, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
And there's two forms of pasteurization for milk. There is high temp, low speed, or low speed high temp. So where you reach 161 degrees really fast, and then drop the temperature really quickly. Or you slowly raise the temperature to 151 degrees over a long period of time. And that changes the flavor complexes.
So it's got nothing to do with like the extra stuff that they have to add to make it USDA
That's what they're doing.
food.
That process is what they're doing to make it USDA approved.
Oh, it's so stupid.
Yep. And a lot of
Like, yep.
sure is. A lot of foreign companies actually have divisions where there's one just for U.S. products that they export to here, and what they keep at home, or for the EU, the European Union, or stuff like that, because they don't have the same regulations. And what's really bizarre about all the USDA approved stuff, so we have like Flamin' Hot Cheetos and Mountain Dew and all that. The countries that don't have USDA approved items will not import like Mountain Dew or McDonald's French fries or, Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, I just now realized what this comment meant by reading your shirt. So
Took you a minute, huh?
Michigan.
We'll go with that. Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's definitely, it's pretty sweet, like all of it. So Russia, we left off at Russia. I forget where exactly we left off, but I knew that we left off in there in that ballpark. I know we're going to talk about like Russian like food, like vodka sauce and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, that's kind of how we got roundabout to it from our conversation about distillation versus like gins and vodkas versus bourbons and whiskeys.
Oh, that's right. We were talking about gin baskets and everything like that.
Yeah.
We were talking a lot about gin.
Yeah, and you know what? The same reflux still or column still used for distillation of gin. You also use it for vodka,
right? But vodka is like the Russian derivative of the word water because it's not supposed to. The least amount of flavor, the better the vodka.
Yep, exactly. And that's the interesting thing. So if you know the etymology of the word whiskey, where that comes from, is Ishkabaha in Gaelic, which means the water of life.
Drink to that,
right? And it's kind of the same thing in Russian.
Big brain alert.
I'm using the big words for you, Tony. I'm sorry.
All right, man. It's been a day.
Sure.
Hey, bring it. Hey, keep good. That's why we have you on here, man. I'm educating myself, and we're educating the world with that big old beautiful brain of yours.
Sure.
I mean, I feel like you've been holding on to this information for way too long, and I'm finally ready to share it to the world.
Been a lot of years, man.
A lot of years, a lot of good times. Yeah.
I've forgotten more than I remember.
I'm saying a lot of you don't remember. Yeah. Cheers to the beers we never remember. Yeah.
You know it. So one of the interesting things, because I've talked to a lot of people about the concept of Russian cuisine, and there seems to be like this dead space, this like blank space of knowledge because nobody remembers it. Nobody thinks about it, right?
Right.
One of the biggest things, especially here in the Western world, we had the Cold War from, the end of World War II up until between 1989 and 1991. I mean, that's when the Cold War effectively ended.
Right.
You know the difference.
The wall
right?
came down.
Yeah. Do you know when the wall came down? When communism officially ended?
I know that I should know the exact date, but I know it's 1989, isn't it?
1989 is when they officially started the process.
They didn't officially end it until I remember
January.
being like elementary when this happened because it was like a big deal and they knocked down the last section.
That was 1991, man. Yeah.
Okay, then no, I wouldn't remember that.
Yeah, there's like I said, in 1989, that's when they started kind of scaling back the military, and they got rid of Checkpoint Charlie as a division of East Berlin and West Berlin.
Yeah.
And it took until 1991 for them to actually take the wall down and have all of the policies written and all of the hostilities met and all of that stuff. And that's when the Russian Federation started. It's when they started voting presidents in, opposed to having dictators.
Dictator's bad. Okay.
Okay. But I was thinking.
So what you're trying to get at here is that we've been told to kind of hate Russia all these years. So in America, we haven't really been exposed to a lot of the Russian like delicacy, as far as, like food or beverage, or and right because right now we're talking beverage. And you know what? It makes a lot of damn sense, you know, because like we're supposed to like. I mean, even like I say now, like Putin, way to be a communist. Don't be a Putin about it, you know, like.
Yeah.
Still, like Russia's still like a negative connotation. It's still painted that way. We're dealing with the whole Brittany Griner thing being wrongfully detained, even though she smuggled marijuana into the country, knowing that it carried a 5-year sentence. But that's beside the point. But I'm going to jail for that one.
Sure.
You know, of all the things, I'm normally really level-headed, but it was the Brittany Griner one that got me. Interesting. That one bugs me, man. Sorry. But anyway.
That's a whole other show, bro.
yeah, that's a whole other channel, not this one. We're not.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to roast me for that. Go ahead. I deserve it. I slipped. But no, so we are going to talk a lot about Russian stuff that, you know, that we may not know a lot about. I want to know, you know, everyone thinks potatoes and vodka, but I know they also have like vodka sauce, which is like a really light tomato sauce with more of like an orange color than a red sauce, you know. I mean, it's and that's still like a commercialized thing. So, and it's that's an alla vodka sauce. Christ, that's Italian. It's not even Russian.
Yeah.
See, that's how little I know. So here we go, Rev. Let's go. Tony's a dum-dum.
So, like, one of the biggest things is, so you have a lot of traditional foods. You got to look at the region you're talking about. So you have the whole communist bloc.
It is a map. And that's the other thing, too. Is it like United States? Because it's bigger than the United States by landmass size.
Yeah, exactly. And you're talking about the division of Soviet states in the unified countries. You know, whether it's Ukraine, Serbia, Sarajevo, Bosnia. I mean, there was an entire conflict in Yugoslavia that separated into separate individual states and countries. So one of the big things is when the Berlin Wall came down and communism was over, they had this huge influx of Western ideas. So you'd go to like their discotheque and you'd be eating French foods and drinking German beers. And it was this weird conglomeration of what could we get now? You know, it was like the kid let loose in the candy store, you know, like they finally got, you know, Charlie Bucket got the chocolate factory and they could finally get all this cool stuff.
Right.
And it's really the difference between what was imported versus the traditional food that they actually had. You know, Russia's national dish is something called pelmenis. If you've ever had beef raviolis, you've had steamed dumplings, then you've had pelmenis, because all it is a really thin pasta skin with meat filling. Okay. Usually it's got plenty of dill and garlic and plenty of fat in it.
Dill would not be a flavor profile I would associate with Russia.
You'd think, right? But
right.
Pickling is a big thing because you're talking about a country that didn't have a lot of resources for preservation. Like
and they have shorter growing seasons in the northern part of the country too.
Exactly.
4 or 5 months. It's like Alaska. Last frontier, they're probably starting their stuff in a greenhouse and keeping it covered till it's growing. They have to start like 2-3 months early. And
exactly.
A lot of effort just to get plants started.
Yeah, so you're talking a lot about interesting preservation techniques.
See, I'm not all stupid. I mean, I got when it comes to the farming knowledge, man, I'm good. But we're talking in some funky stuff for me, which I love.
You're not just a pretty face, Tony.
I'm a face. I'm a face of something.
Yeah.
Face of debauchery.
So, like, you're talking, every culture has across the entire world has certain things that are universal. Okay, so usually there's some sort of meat wrapped in a dough, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking pelmenis in Russia, you're talking dumplings in Asia, like China, Vietnam, Korea. What you put in them is really the difference in what the dough is made of. You know, whether it's a soup or a sauce kind of deal, right? Pelmeni being uniquely Russian, it's usually just a butter sauce with a little sour cream, nothing fancy, and it's really good.
Butter and sour cream mixed together?
No, usually you just do a quick butter sauce, melt a little butter, salt, pepper, and then saute them real quick after they've been cooked in boiling water, you know? just like any other
and
pasta.
finish them with the okay.
Yeah, some little dill, little sour cream on top.
Oh man, sour cream's the bomb, man.
Yeah, and one of the interesting things is like language derivation. So if you know what Italian bellinis are, no, Italian bellinis
if I saw it, I'm a visual guy, So sometimes the vocabulary doesn't stick, but if I see it, I'm like, oh, okay.
So Italian bellinis are just peach nectar and prosecco, white sparkling Italian wine.
Okay.
So in Russia, there's something called bellinis that are buckwheat pancakes.
Okay.
And if you ever had crepes, then you've had bellinis. They're basically really thin pancake-like things that you
really thin pancakes. He's giving you a good out, Ricky.
Exactly. And you know what? It's one of the things that's customarily served with caviar. Sturgeon roe is one of the big things.
Caviar is probably like more of like a coastal thing up there, I'm assuming.
Yep.
No, because they probably I know like sturgeon caviar is like a really big thing over there, and that's an inland fish. So caviar is probably just it's just different kinds of caviar that's available.
It sure is, and it usually goes by color, and it's sold by the ounce.
Black caviar is like a pretty common caviar, right?
Yeah, we can get that at the grocery store here. But
over there, is that like there goes? Like, I mean, you can do the orange. You can do like salmon eggs and trout eggs and stuff.
Sure.
Or panfish even, yeah.
So if you get gray beluga caviar, that is like $2,000 an ounce. Comes in tins like this big, and that usually denotes the size of the bellinis. Actually, what you're topping them with. So if it's the more luxurious item, the smaller the pancake.
Man, can you imagine eating like a $5,000 stack of flapjacks, bro?
I'm in, bro. I would totally do it. I would totally do it.
Just once. I love it. Life's about experiences. I'm all for it.
Absolutely, man. And that was one of the things. So here in America, we have this thing where whatever you can afford, that's what you buy, right? When you're talking Soviet Russia and the former communist bloc, that's not how it worked. It was what you could get. So you get all kinds of interesting creative things. A lot of preserved and pickled items. And then just like here in the 50s, we had a lot of like condensed soups made into casseroles.
Mm-hmm.
You're a Midwest guy. You know what, tuna noodle casserole is.
Cream and chicken. Hey, in our pantry, we got cream of every damn thing.
Everything.
Cream of celery, cream of broccoli, cream of chicken, cream of mushroom.
Anything Campbell's could condense and stuff in a can, pretty much.
I think that was like most of it. Yeah, that was most of it. But yeah, and you know what? Shit's money. Makes a damn good casserole, man. Take some extra salt and pepper to that, and la la.
Sure
some Willow sweet heat. Shout out Willow.
Same. Well, and one of the Soviet versions of that was mayonnaise. So they would make these, like they would say in Minnesota, salads. You ever had a salad in Minnesota?
I mean, if it involves hard-boiled eggs.
Anything.
I have never been really to Minnesota, so no.
That's a whole nother conversation, bro.
Like, I mean, in Ohio, it's big thing is a chef salad, and the chef salad comes with like sliced egg and like 3 cheeses, 3 meats.
So the short version is the Minnesota salad is pretty much anything with like, you got 2 versions. You got sweet or savory, and the savory ones have mayo on everything. And then the sweet versions have Cool Whip and Jello and everything. Like there's no lettuce involved kind of salads.
Oh, like a fruit salad type thing.
Yeah, or like the ambrosia salad and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I mean, everyone forgets that mayonnaise, the original name mayonnaise is called salad dressing.
It absolutely is, dude.
If you used like the knockoff brands when I was a kid was called salad dressing.
Dude, Miracle Whip still says it. Miracle Whip says salad dressing on it.
I mean, one of the best sandwiches there is a fresh homemade loaf of bread with just like a stack of garden lettuce on it and like some nice mayonnaise, or salad dressing, and just have yourself a nice little snack.
And like this was like the Russian version is when they take like pickled herring and pickled beets and they would layer it with mayo in between, like with olives and like pickled celery. And it's actually, you can look it up, something called herring in a fur coat. And they would do this in like a cylinder. So you get each layer layered with mayo in between. And it was like the middle class version of being fancy.
Wow. I mean, what's it called?
Look up herring in a fur coat or herring in a coat.
Herring in a fur coat recipe. Oh my God, there's even a recipe.
Uh-huh.
Herring under a fur coat.
Same thing. Depends on region.
Images. Oh.
Right?
Hang on, we gotta. Trying to find. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's so bright. There we go.
Yeah, that's absolutely like a thing.
So what is that? Pickled cabbage or beets on top?
It's probably a little both. So you got like
And then
carrots,
pickled carrots.
Yep. You got pickled herring in the middle, probably with mayo, dill, sour cream, and that's kind of like the binder in between the layers as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm. You know, it actually doesn't look terrible.
It doesn't look good either.
I mean, the colors are cool.
Sure.
He goes, sure.
You know, that was one of the big things, especially a lot of Russian cuisine is regional. You know, what you realize is like the steppes. You know what the steppes are?
Yeah.
The steppes are a region between like Russia and like Mongolia and stuff. So you have these weird indigenous cuisines that kind of meet each other.
Yeah, talking about two different cuisines, like Mongolian is like way different. Because it's,
Sure.
but it's not quite Asian. But they have like the Mongolian grills, right?
That are total nonsense, and it's not even close to being real Mongolian food.
I figured not. I figured it was another Americanized thing to monetize off another indigenous culture.
Yeah, exactly. Just because it's something no one's ever going to go there, and they're never going to like look at it.
Fact check, like, nope, looks good to me. Mongolia is awesome.
Yeah. You know who started that, right? The whole concept. No, well, I have so many jokes about that, but I'm going to let it
Strike
go.
two for Tony.
You remember Benny Hanna from back in the day?
Yeah, old Benny.
Yeah, you know, he'd have like the flat top grill set up and you could sit around it and they'd cook your food for you and it was like the entertaining thing.
Oh, yeah, the original hibachi.
That's all. Exactly. That's all the Mongolian grill is. They just use big ass woks and a bunch of sauces.
Yeah.
Someone just adapted it with a new name.
What kind of grill is the one where they have like the big long bamboo rod where they like keep going around, it spins, or they walk around, they like keep like swatting at the food, cooking, spreading it around and mixing it together like with a big old stick?
That's the Mongolian grill. That's what that really is. It's a huge.
Is that a real Mongolian grill?
It's like a huge wok. It's a big dish that they set in.
But
like,
is that true to the culture?
In that region of the world, yeah. You got to realize Mongolia is frozen most of the time.
Yeah, because it's what, Himalayas?
Yeah. You know, you're up in the mountains.
Yeah,
Himalayas.
Himalayas or the Alps are Switzerland. Jesus, this is bullcrap, Brad. Man, man? We're talking about food. You're throwing like political trivia, geographical region trivia, man. Like my brain ain't set up for this.
You realize that the Alps run from like Switzerland and Sweden and Norway all the way through France and Italy, right?
Yeah. Oh, that. Yeah. But then if we're talking Mongolia, like a completely different side
set of
of that whole double continent thing, Eurasia, whatever you want to call it. But the Himalayas. I just had to get my, Andes are down, on the east side of the South America there, so I got that one.
Sure, we've all seen it live with the Brazilian soccer team. Yeah, the Andes.
I didn't, not the new one.
Really?
I saw the original where they're eating each other, like the '80s version.
Yeah,
After that, I was like, yeah, I don't want to watch the new one.
No, that's why we don't watch soccer.
Yeah, you don't know why we Americanized it, their struggle, and made it into a horrific thing. Like, you will play football, American football. You'll be a cannibal if you play that soccer kind. Yeah, but so all right, so okay, so because I've seen that Mongolian grill where they've done it, but I was like, same thing, probably Americanized it. So it's at least good to know that I've seen one. It looks heavier than shit. The one that I saw.
Yeah, you're probably talking 300 pounds of hammered steel.
Yeah, man. It's like the one I saw was like a big stone with like the cooking plate on top of it. Yeah, it was massive. But anyways, so yeah, it's regional. So let's say like what's south, like so that area where it's like South Russia, where it's close to the Mongolian border. What is it? Kind of like a good fusion area, you think, or or is it their own little world?
It's kind of a conglomeration of a lot of things, because you're also talking about the spice trade from across the world. Like, you got to remember, like, pasta isn't indigenous to Italy. I know every Italian, especially from East Coast, is losing their mind right now, but it's not. Marco Polo brought
all
from China.
of them. They're all watching. Every single Italian.
I'm sure my grandmother's rolling over in her grave right now, but I hate to break
it.
And you know what? Yeah, I'm sure no one is losing her mind. But tomatoes aren't indigenous to that region of the world either. Those are brought from Central and South America.
Okay.
And it took poor people to actually eat them, because technically tomatoes are a nightshade vegetable. And everybody thought they were poisonous. Yeah. But that's kind of the same region you're talking about when you're talking about the steppes and the conglomeration of indigenous Russian cuisine and like Mongolian food that all kind of fuses together in the same place. Yeah, remember, it's really cold and there's a lot of hard work to be done. So like soups and stews are like a big thing there. And
makes sense.
A lot of the dishes are, if you can boil it for a long period of time, break down fatty and connective tissues, cheap cuts of meat, because that's what the people got. You know, they sold all the better cuts. That way they can afford to live, and they get all the cheap stuff.
Right.
So you get the interesting flavors from like the spice trade and the Mongolian region, and then even from the steppes where there's fishing villages and fishing regions where they do trading. So you'd get weird fish stews and soups and stuff.
Like fish head soup.
There's a bunch of them, but I'm really bad at Russian, so I can't really pronounce any of them.
Well, geez, Rev, but glad to know that you are human.
I know, it's horrible.
No, I'm not sorry. I'm happy. So basically, Russia is like an untapped. I think it's like but like no creators are going to tackle that cuisine because no one wants to be the guy that's good at doing Russian shit. so it's interesting. It's
It's like a really.
I would love to definitely. I would love to try some for sure.
You know what? If you ever find yourself in New York, go to Brighton Beach in Brooklyn.
Okay. I know there's a big.
You look baffled, Tony.
Yeah, I don't know where that. I don't know where. I mean,
there's a large portion of Russian immigrants and expats and Soviet expats who, for some reason, moved to Brighton Beach.
Okay. You also froze up there a couple minutes before, so I was wanting to make sure that you got everything out. So okay, I know like Cleveland. Like, I mean, I'm not too far from Cleveland. There is a massive Ukrainian population like up there, and it's like so they have their spin on their Ukrainian cuisine up there. But I haven't really. I'd like to go up there and just eat at one, but I feel like I wouldn't be maybe welcome. I feel like things go on at those places. So,
you know what? Anthony Bourdain said something great about that. Like, if you're scared of the bad meal, you will never have a good one.
Oh, I was talking about like the ongoing things that the mob's big in Cleveland, man.
Dude, nobody's gonna disappear you. No one's gonna cut your fingers off. You're not gonna get a set.
Like, I'm a figure. I'm a massive figure in this world. People would miss me.
They don't. Dude, I grew up with that stuff back in New York, man. Like, you know,
you were the mob.
Yeah. No, but I definitely like would walk into certain establishments and you'd be like, This restaurant has absolutely no customers, and there's like 6 Italian guys playing pinochle, smoking cigars at the back table. You're like, oh, I know what's going on here.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm going to take my food to go.
You're like, whatever. You know, when I was a kid, you go to the pizzeria and you'd be playing pinball or video games or whatever, and some guy would walk up with a brown paper bag and he'd go, hey, drop this bag in the Cadillac 2 blocks down, and you get on your bike and you do it, and you come back and there's a fresh slice of pizza and a roll of quarters and the fucking soda.
Were you that kid that was doing the paper bag drops?
Oh, absolutely, man. That's free pizza and like, you know, $10 in quarters for the pinball machine.
Yeah.
I absolutely did that.
Rev was a drug mule for the mob. That's awesome.
It was probably cash, but sure, it was money laundering, but whatever, same difference.
Still an accessory. Good for you.
Whatever.
Got them damn quarters.
11-year-old playing pinball, sure, you can get me a racketeering any day.
Oh my god. Yeah, but yeah, so that's awesome. The things we did for quarters. But no, man, like the Russian stuff's like really cool. I want to try more of the cuisine. You know, the vodka and all that stuff's like really, really cool. So, but real quick on vodka, we went just past our 30 minutes. I know our goal is to keep these here. We might have to. Oh wait, your Grubs is in here. Have you had shashlik?
Shashlik? I'm pretty sure. I just, like I said, I'm bad on my Russian, but I've definitely had plenty of the cuisine. Like I said, going to Brighton Beach, you know, half of the restaurants are Russian.
I'm gonna Google it for you, bud. Shashlik.
See if I can shake the memories loose.
Oh, it's L-I-K. Yeah. Shashlik is a dish of skewered and grilled cubes of meat similar to a shish kebab. Oh,
yeah, they're like kebabs. Yeah, I totally know what you're talking about.
Okay, so you do them on on the little grill.
Yeah, and they
like they sell. What are them? Yak grills is what the big thing is now.
Yeah, I absolutely know what it is.
So would they use mayonnaise? You think on that?
Probably not. That's
okay,
one of
what would that be like a cuisine because it's like actual meat? Not a lot of people got.
Yeah, that's one of the indigenous cuisines from the region where, depending on which quarter of or state or city or whatever you want to call it, you know, whether it's goat, whether it's beef, whether it's pork, whether it's, you know, this, that, or the other thing, wherever you are kind of dictates what kind of flavors you have. It's kind of like here in barbecue. You know, if you're in Kansas City, it's going to be pretty different than Texas.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know.
Yeah, so it's really cool. Well, we're in conclusion, United States and Russia are exactly the same with cuisine in different regions. Get out of your head, folks. But, yeah. So what are we going to talk about? What are we going to talk about next, man? I just learned of what a Schwanker grill is. That was exciting. I'm getting one.
Very nice.
I got the green light. The wife's really excited about a grill. I feel like I should take that opportunity and run with it.
You sure should. You get all the accessories, everything you need for it.
Actually, man, there's like little ones already ready to go. Even it comes with a little grill pot for like $50 on Amazon if you just want to learn the technique.
Nice.
But it's like 18-inch wide grate, so it's enough to put like a whole chicken on.
Sure.
Like, you know, it's only 4 of us in the house, something just to play with. But no, I want to get the big Schwanker. I want the biggest Schwanker of them all. And Schwanker.
Well, don't we all?
Yeah.
Don't we all?
Been saying it for years.
Right.
So what are we going? So what are we going to talk about next, man? Are we going to get in? I feel like we covered Mongolia, we covered Russia, we covered some vodka, we covered. We covered.
You tell me, man.
We covered origination of tomatoes. Pretty solid half hour.
That's up to you, brother. What are you thinking? What are you feeling?
Well, the Schwanker stuff was interesting, and I learned a little bit about that from that. And I actually got videos. The lady that got us the Kerrygold from Ireland, also brought me a tube of brat mustard.
Nice.
Because I don't know if you know, in Germany it comes in like toothpaste tubes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the brand, dude. It was awesome. I don't know if you saw that picture. I did a lamb Italian sausage in Bush Light on the skillet.
Nice.
And then I butterflied it, and then garden fresh tomatoes, some Colby Jack cheese, and then sweet pepper slices, like the lunchbox peppers.
Yeah.
On the
Very
12 grain wheat. Oh yeah, and then I forget what sauce I did. Oh, I did the mustard on it. Oh my god, was it good? It was probably one of the better sandwiches I've had in a long time. But so the lady's a flight attendant, and she has friends that live in Germany that when earlier they go see. And so she's starting to send me all her videos, her cooking videos to Kim
Nice.
and to me. And they actually gave me a bag of Schwenker meat seasoning. So
Very
I got like a real bag, and it's like a paprika and chili based with like it's basically like Tina's European blend, but with add the paprika and chili and but it had like the herbs of Provence, the marjoram, the basil, the thyme, the rosemary, the basil. I already said basil, said it twice.
Very nice.
Yeah, but it was interesting. It was a totally different flavor profile. So
very cool.
I'm going to do. They did cognac, so I think I want to do an American spin on it and marinate it in bourbon.
Bourbon. How'd I know you were gonna say bourbon?
You can't do it. Hey, it's Dude Net. We got to do it with Cleveland whiskey, man. We got to do it with Cleveland whiskey.
I feel you.
All right, so let's do German, and then God knows whatever else that takes us. But we'll try to stay a focus on German, and then I'm sure it'll end up in Norway.
God knows.
And Australia. I have a feeling Australia's going to make an appearance next week.
Okay, I got a friend in Australia. I can chat with him.
We're going to stick with Germany, but I just have this weird feeling that Australia's going to make the cut. Just my bold prediction.
Okay.
One thing we can predict: it's going to be a damn good time and full of a lot of fun and knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. Thoughts with the Rev White Trash Mike.
Yes, sir.